Good evening. My name is Violetta. I'm from Canada, psychic from Canada. Today is our 35th video. Unbelievable. We are already 6 years doing this. 6 months. 6 years. 6 months doing this. Today is December 28, 2017. So it's probably the last video this year. My son will be asking me questions and I will have vision, little pictures or little action movie in my head when I will close my eyes, and that will be the answer. I will have to figure out what that meant, and sometimes that's tricky, and sometimes I will use tarot cards because that's what I do for as well when I'm doing tarot cards reading for clients, and I do tarot cards and visions at the same time.
Very good. So we talked about Donald Trump having an affair in the last video.
Yes.
The question now is Melania Trump also having an affair?
It's like she's looking with the triangle. She had the affair probably before, but she's not able to do it. It's like when the ship is spotting someone on the water, they put that light flashing.
The searchlight?
Yeah, and it's usually like a triangle because the light is spreading. So you see that triangle. She wish, I don't think she can. Not right now, not when she's in White House. Everyone will knew that, and that's her wishful thinking and looking, but I don't think she can have it right now.
She just doesn't have the power.
She's just searching the waters, kind of, and maybe when she will be when from the office, she will do it, but right now she is searching the waters. Who knows, maybe in Mar-a-Lago, she is looking for a new suitor. I bet there is a lot of them, wealthy and happy to be her next one.
Okay, so this question is from Marilyn Pizzaferi. Is Trump trying to use the occult in the way Hitler did?
What do you mean?
Hitler was doing a lot of exploration into the occult. He was sending people to
he was believing in Nostradamus predictions and so on. So that's what you.
I believe he saw psychics as well.
Oh, okay. It's an odd symbol. It's half of something. I wouldn't be surprised that Trump has his own abilities. He doesn't need anyone. He is his own. He believes in his own predictions. I wouldn't be surprised that that's what he's capable of.
Really?
Yeah.
Trump's a psychic, huh?
I wouldn't be surprised. And you know what? He said many, many years ago that he will be a president, and he became one. How much of the psyche someone has to be? And
That's
it's like point. Half of some writing like on some stones, but it's half of it. So he's maybe not full blood, but he has abilities. I bet he has some abilities to do that. Prove me wrong, but I think he has some.
A recent report by the New York Times unveiled the existence of a real-life X-Files department, a 5-year executive program to investigate mysterious flying objects, especially focused on encounters by members of the military.
Pentagon. Yeah. 20 million they spent on it.
22 million, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The man who ran that secret program, Luis Elizondo, now says the existence of UFOs has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Like you said, $22 million was spent on research, data, and facilities built to house the artifacts found. My question is, why is the military all of a sudden releasing UFO information along with video proof?
Because they want you to look different direction. Something else is important and they want you to look different direction. So that will be this orientation. The flash is here and they want you to look that way. So something, maybe Miller's story is going this way and they want you to focus on other things.
What exactly do they want to steer the attention away from?
I said maybe not from Miller, but something that is puzzling. But they will, I don't know, but it looks like without no reason they wouldn't let this right now. So they want us to talk about other things than we are talking about, and what most people are talking during the Christmas about the story related to Miller. So if people will get a new thing to talk about, that will be a good story for them, and this will be more interesting. You ask why now?
Well, what you're saying makes me think of. So, like, I did some research, and it turns out that the media is all owned by the same 6 companies. They have different shares in each. So, like, one company might have more in CBC, right? And another one might have more in CNN, and another one might have more in Fox or whatever, right? But they're all owned
by
the same companies.
Because I think I read about this long time. That Fox is owned by Rupert.
Rupert Murdoch.
And then on one hand he has Fox, and on another hand he has opposition like MSNBC. So that was puzzling me, because MSNBC is my favorite.
Well, the reason that they're able to get beyond...
And then they have the different point of views.
Yeah, but like there's monopoly laws, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason they're able to get beyond them is because they have subsidiary companies that they buy different companies through, so they have certain shares going. But they control everything, right?
What is in the media.
In essence, the 6 families each have equal shares everywhere, right? They control the media all over the world.
So that's American Pie, you mean?
Well, what's kind of... what it's making me think of is we're actually like a one world government, in essence, because we're all getting information from the same sources.
And we are controlled.
People get from Fox, their information from Fox. And they're great people, just like, people that watch CNN. Mm-hmm. Same values, same everything. It's just one person prefers one channel over a different channel. But their views are skewed. So now they're fighting amongst each other through these media outlets that have skewed the news in certain directions to cause this sort of conflict. And I'm just wondering, like, how much of the news we're getting is real and how much isn't. And what is really going on with like when you said the whole alien thing, they're trying to divert
the attention, yes. So what is your question?
Well, I was just kind of wondering, like, I want to get down to it, like, what are they trying to steer us away from? Is it more of a global issue? Like, what exactly are they trying to hide? What is the media trying to hide right now?
Okay. I don't know if I can answer this with the vision. I see 2, those producing of electricity, those windmills in a field. Those big
those
towers, 2 towers. Between there is a boxing ring and gloves. How would you explain this? Wind is going from one side, maybe different than from another.
clean energy.
Create energy, and then they are fighting on the boxing ring with the gloves.
Well, clean energy is the way of the future, are they?
Yeah, but they are, that's energy, electricity, so that they are giving us energy to think about something, so they are controlling our energy going some direction.
Yeah.
And then on the middle of this, there is a boxing ring, and it's for boxing, so it's controlling the fights between Fox News, CNN, and other news. It's just for game.
It's just for game.
It's just for game, and it's cheap electricity. They are getting whatever they want us to believe, and we will be watching that ring fighting and fighting and fighting. And as you said, some people will be for Fox. I try to watch Fox, CNN, and NBC, and sometimes even RT, Russian TV, just to have different opinions.
Are recessions staged by these grand corporations that control the way we think through news? Like, because to me, it's like 30 years ago there was less technology, and this technology is supposed to make our lives easier. But today, lives are even harder and more busy than they were then.
Yeah.
Apple's coming out and they're apologizing for essentially like
everything. And the vision that I have is like the fan on the ceiling. Mixture. They give you the feeling of fresh air, fresh information. Nothing is that fresh. The oldest laptop that I have, it's the most reliable. I don't have to clean the viruses. I don't have to do anything. There is no updating on that one because it's over 7 years old, and it's the most reliable and fastest. With the new ones, we always have some problems. So yeah, they want us to spend more money on everything. And
well, Apple, like, they pretty much committed like property damage on a grand scale. And they're coming out and they're saying, okay, we're sorry we did that.
But
we'll sell you cheaper
batteries.
Yeah, like, how is, like, mafia law, the head of the family has to pay for the crime of the family. Like, the son does something stupid, father goes down. Why is the head of this company not in prison? Like, that's crazy.
But in Germany, when the head of the Volkswagen CEO was doing the cheating on the gas, lower gasoline or something with the engine, he is in a prison now. So they put them in prison. And who knows, maybe someone will pay the price in Apple too. It's early. But I hate when they are doing updating on my telephone, on my computer, because it's making it slower, and I don't need those things.
No. Will these companies ever be broken apart by laws?
They will fly high. No. They will fly, and they will be doing those show-off on the shows. I don't think so.
Okay, going back to the UFOs. I guess you already answered this. I'll ask it anyway. Are we being conditioned for an alien arrival?
We all are waiting for that. We all are conditioned because we are all waiting since childhood. I think that's, at least I'm Everyone's dream is to have that UFO coming to him on a chariot. And we are ready, we are secure for that. We want them to come in, and for good reasons.
Okay. Here's a good one. So, what is being housed at these facilities that they built with $22 million?
Oh, they built some facilities?
Yeah, they leased and built facilities to house artifacts and special findings. What do you see in these facilities?
It's like they are lying, smoothing stuff on the floor, so maybe they are just preparing. It's like finishing works for something. It's like lining carpets, white carpets, so they are preparing. The symbol will be they are preparing for the big guests coming in.
They're preparing?
Mm-hmm. I think that they are thinking that if some aliens will come in, they will be ready for them, and they have everything white on the floor and ready for them, for their arrival. We have red carpets for big people, but this will be this sterile carpet, like white, everything white.
Okay, Stars and Stripes Forever. Mick Mulvaney, now head of Customer Affairs Bureau, which he has had a personal disdain for years. What will be the result of him leading the Consumer Fraud Protection Agency? It sounded like he wanted to shut it down, and then they made him the head of it. So
it's like paranoia. It's like the kids is making flip-flops, koziołki jak jest
rolling over.
He wants everything to roll over to him, and then he would decide that he has complete control. It's like taking a wolf to the ships and asking him to guard them. It's against whatever that bureau was for.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think he has the good intention, and Trump knows that. Because it's not comfortable for the banks, so why would he let someone else to work against the banks?
So it's just another piece in the puzzle for these corporations to get absolute power.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. Put a wolf to watch your ships.
Put a wolf to watch your sheep. Okay. Rupert Murdoch is a multi-billionaire who owns one of the largest news organizations in the world,
Fox,
including Fox and its affiliates. His News Corp reaches about 1/4 of the Earth's population.
Because he has in Australia and in England and now in USA.
Jeez, he's got it in Poland.
Oh, even in
He's got some sort of affiliate. I forget what it's, the TELUS something.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by Fox. That's why we were wondering. We're like, well, why do Polish people like Trump? I mean, Putin pretty much put Trump in power.
Mm-hmm. But in Poland, actually, one of my part of my family doesn't like Trump, but the other is
Yeah, but it doesn't make any logical sense.
No, but that's what Fox is creating.
How many years ago did Putin annihilate the president and his whole cabinet? Like, the plane was shot down in Russia under suspicious circumstances. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that here.
No, but all the government, 90 few people, was in that plane. And it landed...
The whole government in one plane.
In one plane. And I had
let's start with the circumstances. So there was natural gas found underneath Poland. Mm. Russia, still to this day, is the supplier of energy throughout all
and
of
to
Europe.
Poland as well.
And to Poland.
So we couldn't.
When this natural gas was found, this endless supply of gas, everything was supposed to change. And right away, Russians invited the Polish president and his whole cabinet.
No, they didn't invite it. They were going for the place where was Polish soldiers were killed.
That's the thing. But they were invited for that as a ceremony to honor the Polish soldiers that were killed
by Russians.
That was an invitation sent. And they were supposed to arrive. And all of a sudden...
They were killed.
Well, it was suspicious too because there was nothing...
Can I say the vision that I had many years ago?
Oh, sure, but let me just build it up a little bit. There was no intercom. Everything was fine. And all of a sudden the plane went down. Right? And...
There was no electricity.
Let me just finish. And after the plane went down, the Russians took control, seized all of the
information,
all the cell phones,
everything,
all the secret information that could have been on that airplane,
and the black box,
and the black box, which they didn't give back for a full year or two.
But the rest is still in Russia.
But the one that they gave back was completely useless anyway because it had been fried somehow.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't learn that, but you did a reading on it.
My husband asked me that a few days after, and it was bizarre. And that was many right away
Let's
after.
see if we can take you back to that vision.
No, I can't do it.
No?
No, I will have to tell it from my memory.
Okay.
I don't want to fool around. And I saw plane going down, and there was two sticks coming out of towers coming out of the ground on the way where the plane was coming, and there was tasers between those sticks, and the plane went through those tasers, and that was the reason in my vision that the plane was crashed, because that caused the electricity sparks or whatever.
Like an electromagnetic charge.
Yeah. And you did the research that that's possible.
Because all the lights in the area had been burnt out.
And it was looking like from the field they pull it and then they hide it. So no one was thinking about the field to check out the field.
Yeah.
And the electricity was such a huge electricity. And the puzzle was that there was no electricity. All the lights around the airport went poof.
Yeah. Yeah, they exploded.
Yeah. And there was no reason for that on the plane.
They exploded, or they all had to be changed. Something was
burnout.
Yeah. But my point is, I mean, this is still
and no one
fresh.
was looking at that way of searching that for that answers.
Well, the thing is Obama went to Poland right after it happened, but nothing was done about it. We couldn't get our...
To this day, they are doing research, and they don't really have any clues how that happened. And the body was mixed, part of...
The plane wasn't given back.
No, it's still in Russia.
So, this is still a pretty fresh wound for the Polish people.
And it will be for centuries.
Somehow, they're praising a guy,
Russia,
that was put into office by Putin.
Yeah.
And the reason I say I'm confident...
Oh, you're talking about Trump.
I'm talking about Trump. They're praising Trump because they're watching Fox.
And, because they don't have proof that that was caused by anything like tasers, accident. Yeah. So
they don't have proof of collusion, but, come on. How many of Trump's people are caught in a lie already? I mean, you don't lie unless you're covering something up. And what's that? Lie to me once, shame on you. Lie to me 9 times. Who the hell do you think I am, right? So, to me, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'll move on.
Okay.
So, in 2016, rumors surfaced that Murdoch's ex-wife, so going back to Rupert Murdoch, his ex-wife, Wendy Dang, was romantically linked with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Is this true? Was there a romance between Wendy Dang and Putin?
Square. So she was in open relationship with him. It's not triangle, it was open kind of relationship.
And you saw what?
Square. It's like a bad square, so it's not that it's one thing. There was 4 corners with lights on them, so I don't know.
I'm interested to see what the cards would say about this.
And she was quite a creature because she left Murdoch because she had an affair with
Tony Blair?
Tony Blair, yes. And trust issues, she's very strong, and tragedy. Shake it hours, something unexpected happened. No, we better don't go there because we might be in trouble. It's warning from cards for us. We better stop.
Well, we're going there.
No.
So you're saying that you see an open relationship with the two. Did Rupert Murdoch know about it? About his ex-wife Wendy's relationship with Putin?
He has a third eye. He knows everything. He's so aware of what's going on everywhere.
Okay.
But it's his ex-wife, and they have 2 daughters. Ivanka was the babysitter for not babysitter, but...
We'll get to that.
Oh, you have something about that?
Here, let me just pause for a sec.
Okay, because the...
Well, yeah. I can only film for so long without it cutting out. Okay. Well, we're back.
Because he had to restart the battery.
Yeah, it's silly, because if you buy a camera, they put this thing on it that it will only tape for half an hour. But if you buy a video camera, then it will tape for as long as you got memory. Mm-hmm. So it's a selling point. Cameras are cheaper than video cameras. Mm-hmm. Going back, how did Murdoch feel about it? About Wendy being with Putin?
He is drawing his teeth so badly. I don't think he has any left. Like when someone is angry and chewing on his own teeth.
He's upset? He
is upset. It's a matter of his daughter, so yeah, he is not probably very happy about that. You want to see?
I want to see what the cards, yeah.
With his intuition, he knows what's going on, and he still loves her. He thinks it's only for work. He doesn't think that she's doing this for any other reason. It's just work-related for her.
Okay, funny you say that. Okay, yeah, take that away. On August 14th of this year, Wendy was on vacation in Croatia with close friend Ivanka Trump.
What was that? When?
August 14th of this year. So
she just had a baby.
She had a baby 4.5 months previously, yeah. The pair is so close that Ivanka was the trustee for Wendy and Rupert Murdoch's 2 youngest daughters, overlooking a trust fund worth nearly $300 million. My question is, and I think you kind of answered it with those cards, but my question is, are Ivanka Trump's and Wendy Dang's relations with one another true, or are there some hidden motives?
You scratch my back, I scratch yours back. They like each other because of the financial gain. And it's the connection that they have.
They're playing the same game.
They say they are on the same path of helping each other. And I'm surprised that Ivanka will leave her baby and go to Croatia with girlfriend. I wouldn't do that. I will.
I don't think she left the baby. I think she took the baby with her.
I don't know.
Does Wendy Dang carry messages for Vladimir Putin?
Waves. Like when you drawing a waves when someone is speaking. So yeah, like echo waves. So
that's a sign of
some communications. Yes.
Huh. I guess that's the. There's no evidence of that. Like if someone tells you something and you go pass it to somebody else, there's
no trace of it, and the waves you can't really. You just imagine them and you can draw them, but you can't really see them.
That's interesting. In June 2016, Trump fired campaign manager Corey. So we're switching topics. In June 2016, Trump fired campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. And then just over a year later, Trump appointed Corey's longtime girlfriend of 6 years, who is now his ex-girlfriend.
Lewandowski's ex-girlfriend and Trump's new girlfriend.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
To be one of the most senior officials at the White House, giving her the role of communications director, despite her having virtually no experience for the role. Does Corey Lewandowski blame Trump for stealing his girlfriend?
I think he knows he doesn't mean anything to her. She was too strong for him. It's like pushing the drawing of the heart on the side. He thinks about his own career more than about his girlfriend.
Does Corey have damaging information about Trump?
He's sneaky like a snake. So he has, but I don't think anyone can trust him.
Oh, okay. He's a snake, so he wasn't let into the...
And he wants to gain his own advantage because he knows things. It's for his own benefits. He's keeping his mouth shut and...
you've kind of asked. Does Corey want to get revenge on Donald Trump?
If he could, he would stab him. He would love to stab him. Mm-hmm. But right now he is playing the snaky game because he wants to gain for himself.
What is preventing Corey Lewandowski from getting revenge on Donald Trump?
It's like instrument. I don't understand.
It's like part of the machine?
Yeah, he thinks that he's not strong enough to do anything, so he is keeping his mouth shut, and he loved it when he was someone in that
ring of power,
so he is keeping his mouth shut so he can get back to the power. He is focusing his future, not the past as much. He's focusing on the future, not about the past. He's a survivor. He can't really do anything, and somehow he is not a clean guy. I wouldn't trust him.
No. Well, that's all the questions I got.
Thank you so much for watching us. This was a really long video. And please subscribe so you can be one of the first one when we will post it. And thank you to my to the people who are letting me to do the readings for them, private readings. It looks like I'm getting so many new friends, and it's so rewarding. And one lady is third time. So, and we just started over a month ago. So I'm so pleased. To all of you, and have a wonderful new year. All the best wishes in the new year. And I hope Trump will start, instead of playing golf, will start acting like a politician, because he's just messing up.
He took 100 days to go to these golf resorts. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. We can talk together, and he comes only to do videos, so I can't really see him that much. Bye-bye.
If you would like to request a private Skype reading with Violetta, please email her at psychicvioletta@hotmail.com and discover what the future holds for you. Some of the regular viewers might be surprised to see me because I've never appeared in these videos before. The reason I do now is because in preparing for this video, I was doing research on News Corp owner Rupert Murdoch. And what I came across absolutely shocked me. Embarrassingly, up until now, the only perception I had towards the owners of news organizations was from the movie Meet Joe Black.
I wanted to give the news to the world, and I wanted to give it unvarnished. The more we all know about each other, the greater the chance we will survive. Sure, I want to make a profit. You can't exist without one, but John Bonacue is all profit. If we give him license to absorb parish communications, and he has his eye on a few others after us, in order to reach the world, you will have to go through John Bonacue. And not only will you have to pay him to do this, far more important, you'll have to agree with him. Reporting the news is a privilege and a responsibility, and it is not exploitable.
Now that being said, the shocking information I came across was a piece written by Susan Shannon. You see, in 2011, Susan was on the same quest to learn about Rupert Murdoch that I was on now. Only Susan dove much deeper into it than I had intended to. With a simple click of a mouse, she used the search engine Yahoo Finance to find out who exactly owned the major news outlets. Her findings haven't changed much in the last 7 years. Some of the names are different, but the scam is still the same. All of the news media, both the liberal and conservative, belongs to roughly 6 private organizations who share ownership equally. They split the news between themselves in what looks like a scheme to ensure that no one organization gets the upper hand on the other, avoiding monopoly laws by using the exact same shell companies, such as Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, amongst others, to purchase the news outlets through. Why do these shell companies sound familiar? The government gave shell companies like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan massive bailouts during the housing market crash, paid for with taxpayer dollars.
There's going to be a bailout.
Well, they had to. Right? I mean, paper markets would have
They
collapsed.
knew.
Cash would have stopped coming out of ATMs. They had to backstop this.
They knew the taxpayers would bail them out. They weren't being stupid. They just didn't care.
Yeah, because they're fucking crooks. But
At least we're going to see some of them go to jail. Right? I mean, they're going to have to break up the banks.
I mean, the party's over.
I don't know. I have a feeling that in a few years, people are going to be doing what they always do when the economy tanks. They will be blaming immigrants and poor people.
But Mark was wrong. In the years that followed, hundreds of bankers and rating agencies executives went to jail. The SEC was completely overhauled, and Congress had no choice but to break up the big banks and regulate the mortgage and derivatives industries. Just kidding. Banks took the money the American people gave them and they used it to pay themselves huge bonuses and lobby the Congress to kill big reform. And then they blamed immigrants and poor people. And this time, even teachers. And when all was said and done, only one single banker went to jail.
We watch reporters ask politicians questions the politicians never answer. And the reporters just nod their heads and understand. We watch reporters broadcast problems.
Something I'd have to check into and get back to you. We'll try to look into that. I have to look into that. We'll certainly let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. We'll let you know. I hate to sound like a broken record. I'll let you know. We'll let you know. We'll let you guys know. We'll let you know. We'll let you know. I'll certainly let you know. Let you know if that's going to happen. I'll certainly keep you posted. We'll keep you posted. I'll circle back with you. We'll continue to keep you guys updated.
Are you saying you will ask him and get back to us?
No, I said I would have to in order to answer that question.
These organizations own the news around the world. They own our governments. They own the way we think. By filtering the information we get, they have us fighting with one another instead of unifying to become a force that could oppose them. I know my mother prophesies these corporations will not be hindered by legislation and will grow stronger. But from personal experience, I also know that sometimes the mere fact of hearing a prophecy is enough to change it. This year, instead of trying to convince one another of which side is right, let's start pushing the government on both sides of the aisle to begin acting in the people's best interests and not the corporations.
So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind?